1 year on since the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, and the mystery over what really happened to the Washington Post writer remains. It was just after lunch when the former Saudi insider walked into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul to pick up a marriage certificate. His fiancée waited outside. She would never see him again. It's believed Khashoggi was met by a hit squad sent from Riyadh. He was killed and his body dismembered. The murder caused an international backlash against Riyadh, with the CIA alleging that the hit had been ordered by Saudi's young crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman. Riyadh claims the killing was carried out by a rogue team, but a report by the UN said that Mohammed bin Salman should be investigated for his role. The kingdom says 11 people have been charged in the murder, though nobody has yet been convicted, and their trials are being carried out in secret. In an interview this week, Mohammed bin Salman denied ordering the murder, despite a number of his close advisors' direct involvement. He said, "This was a heinous crime. I take full responsibility as a leader in Saudi Arabia, especially since it was committed by individuals working for the Saudi government." Khashoggi's fiancée, Hatice Cengiz, says there needs to be an international investigation into her husband's murder.
There has been no request for an international inquiry from the members of the United Nations Security Council, even when the UN report was announced in June again, stirring up the world. Despite this, there was no serious movement from European countries that allowed us to move forward.
Bunun bir sonraki aşamasını görmemiz açısından bir oluşum olmadı.
The world may never know exactly what happened to Jamal Khashoggi last October, but his calls for reform in Riyadh are perhaps louder in death than they ever were in life. Gareth Brown, Euronews.
Well, joining me now from Beirut to try and unpack this is Richard Spencer, Middle East correspondent for the Times of London newspaper. Thank you for talking to us. You wrote yesterday in an article that actually some believe that the Khashoggi killing may have strengthened the Saudi crown prince, particularly domestically. Why is that?
Yeah, I think it's a great irony of what's happened in the last year. I think people expected the Crown Prince's position to be severely weakened. There were talks of him being removed and replaced. There were certainly a lot of rumours of plots and machinations within the Saudi royal family. But in fact, that hasn't happened. He's now got a much tighter circle of family members in key positions in the Saudi administration, the Saudi regime, if you like to call it that. And internationally, it's kind of forced the world to put their cards on the table. And, you know, President Trump has given him his support. Very importantly as well, President Putin, I don't know if you remember, at the G20 summit in Buenos Aires last year, gave him a massive grin and a high five, which was a kind of saying, you know, if America bails on you, you've got me. So all talk of dissidents and opposition within the royal family seems to have disappeared.
What do you think about this from Turkey's side of things? Because given their track record when it comes to freedom of the press, some are saying that there's a bit of a bitter irony in the way that the president has almost capitalised on this incident.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a lot of ironic smiles around the region. Many of us know journalists in Turkey who've been given a hard time. I know Turkish journalists who can't go back because they've been jailed in absentia. There's obviously journalists who've been locked up. And, you know, Turkey's made great hay out of the Khashoggi killing happening on its soil. On the other hand, you do have to get a little bit of a sense of proportion. You know, President Erdogan is not a liberal and he's locked up journalists, but he hasn't chopped them into pieces.